Glad to have you back here. Welcome to the program, Daybreak Africa. And like I said earlier, our guest to be joining us in the studio, he is an in-house analyst, and we're talking on a social issue. Today, Wednesdays, when we get to address social-related issues. And then Khalid will be bringing us and keeping us to speed on what we're talking about today. Over to you, Khalid.
Yes, today we'll be talking about the issue of identity in the 21st century, and particularly in the Western world. We understand that currently there are lots of identity flying around. Even when it comes to gender, we can as well as talk about as much as 60, 70 identities, ranging from the male, female, binary, non-binary, transgender. And also today we would be engaging Ovunda Clinton in the discussion of the identity issue in the 21st century, how it is seeping into the Nigerian space, and how we are, while we are accepting it, and the good and the bad that could come out of this. Good morning. And
then we'll be relating it to the podcast that trended yesterday on body shaming.
Oh, okay,
body
yes.
Shaming,
that's
yes.
another beautiful thing. Yeah, another beautiful thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Good morning, Clinton.
Good morning to you, Clinton.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us. Oh, thank you
very much. I like this.
I
like this your vibe this morning. Good morning.
I mean, I try. I should always be hyped. I should be like this sometimes. How you doing?
Please, before we go, I want to know, what do you identify as? Let me say my own first, too.
Oh, okay. Now you're choosing what we choose to identify her.
I identify as a billionaire.
Okay.
I'm a billionaire and I must meet billions in my account.
But let me remind you that in as much as you're trying to identify as things, remember you're still in Nigeria.
Oh,
it's not legalized in a country.
And they will flog you.
And then you'll be sentenced to jail.
14 years imprisonment now. That's simple.
No, I don't think this whole identity thing is in Nigerian law. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's only the gay thing that's there.
The Constitution has not addressed,
right
the issue of identity, but at least it addresses the issue of gay marriage, same-sex marriage.
Same-sex marriage and relationship.
Someone can identify as
well, you would be surprised that if you find yourself,
no law is holding him right now in Nigeria.
You would be surprised that if you should find yourself in that corner, there will be a constitution that will talk about it. When you ask this legal document, you would hear, subsection this and this or this talking about, or relating to it. So you don't want to catch yourself in that.
I hope you remember that these things just started. It started after the legalizing of the homosexual and
marriages
and the whole bi and the whole trans thing with Obama. Now, it started, I don't know if I should say 2021, 2019.
Not so long ago.
It started getting more popular. Nigerian society, Nigerian legal society has not touched it yet.
And I'm not sure with all what's right on our table, we are touching it anytime soon.
It's not coming in anytime soon. But I mean, just most of us live online.
Yeah.
This is the Gen Z.
Yes.
They live online, so they grab lots of things happening online. Lots of
debates start saying it.
Shola, just this morning you were showing me the video. You were showing me a video on social media of
two male gender getting married.
I think they are Nigerian.
But they don't base in Nigeria. They black Nigerians, black Americans also, or maybe from East Africa. They don't base in the country. They got married, and I don't know how to react to it.
I all the time. I was watching a pastor yesterday saying he's a priest and he's gay. And he's happy.
Wow.
Well, let's not go straight into that because it caused a lot of tension. Let's start with body shaming. What's your definition of body shaming? How do you feel when I say, you're chubby, Clinton? How do you feel? How do you want me to feel when you tell me, you're slim, or you're too thin, or your height,
you're too dark,
or you're too dark? How do you address the issue of body shaming?
Let me not say body shaming is not a thing because it's actually a thing. So I cannot just say body shaming is not a thing. But where I am right now, you can hardly body shame me. I was telling people how I got the name Zaddy experience, the sugar daddy thing. It started from sugar daddy in school. I was one time in school, I was with packs when I came to school. When I used to work out, you had a lot of time. So I came to school, it was very hectic. I stopped working out and my stomach started to bug out. And people were like, this is your big stomach, you're not sexy again, blah, blah. And I was like, that's the sugar daddy vibes.
Okay.
And that was why every single time they tried to body shame me by calling me big tummy, I said I'm sugar daddy. And everybody started calling me sugar daddy. Today it became a brand for me. So for me, it can't get to me because I've built my self-esteem to a particular level. But that I can't use myself to say it's not a thing. It is actually a thing. People get body shamed a lot, especially when they are younger. There was a time I was very insecure when you tell me my head is big, my nose is big. I was very younger then, but now you can tell me that all day, I don't care. So let's not dispute the fact that body shaming is a thing and it is wrong. It is wrong. But right now, I think they are taking it to a next level.
Okay.
By saying you shouldn't say fat, you shouldn't say this, man. I'm trying to describe, and it's making English more difficult.
More difficult, honestly.
Because you're trying to describe someone that is obviously this, and you can't say that. Because first you'll be like, why are you body shaming me? I'm trying to describe someone on red dress that is fat. Maybe there are 4 people there, and I'm like, the fatter one there on red dress. And why did you call me fat? You're body shaming me. You are fat, obviously.
So would we have called them plus size or?
Honestly, if you look at it,
we are just hiding on that word.
We are hiding on that word. Honestly, I was going there. It was still fat. You saying fat, chubby, plus size, advanced size, whatever you call it, whatever adjective you add to the word size, is still just fat.
It's fat. It's just we're just hiding on that word. It's fat.
So how did we find ourselves in this particular stage where we all feel insecure about ourselves? If somebody is too tall and lanky, he or she is not too happy, or she is tall and lanky. The staff, when I tell you, oh, you're lanky, oh, you're slim, you're looking too slim, they start feeling like, oh, you're body shaming me. When you see people dressed in an inappropriate outfit, they'll tell you you're slut shaming them. When you see people overeating, eating too much, so when you would have called a glutton, oh, you eat too much, you're supposed to eat moderate, they'll tell you, oh, I'm not a glutton, I'm a foodie. When people
the painful part is that, okay, it usually happens with the younger female folks when they so-called go and visit their partners.
The Gen Zs.
The food you can't eat on your salary, the food you don't eat in your house, then you go to a person's house, you say you are a foodie, you want to eat this particular thing, you want this particular type of food because you are a foodie.
First of all,
for me,
let me explain to people, they don't get the idea of foodie. I've said this thing on my TikTok one time. The idea of foodie is not about eating so large, it's about they are food enthusiasts. They love the sight of food. They love trying new food. They love tasting. Some of them don't even eat very big. When they see something new, they're like, like when I came to Lagos, I just wanted to test amala. I've never had it, and I loved it. I've not eaten amala more than 5 times. I will not say it because I'm a foodie. Every time when I see somebody go and buy me amala, I just tasted it, and I liked it. It wasn't bad. But it's not what I want to eat every day. I just like to try new. I've tried banga soup and starch. I've tried even foods that are not Nigerian food. I've tried shito. I've tried wachi. Just for trying sake, because I love trying new food and I love knowing.
Okay, so you're saying so that's the correct definition of foodies when you're a food enthusiast.
Yes.
Not that you eat chop, like they will call them chop. You eat everything you see. Okay, now.
You know this.
The issues to that extent.
No, I even want us to still delve on this body shaming of a thing. For me, one thing I would say is the main cause. How we got here is that we started accepting, for me, mediocrity. You see someone who is very, very big, you're banking maybe 170 kg, and I can't just tell you, okay, you're fat, try to do something about your weight because this is not even good for your health. You understand?
Like Tenny said, she said she lost weight because of her health. Yes. And the Plus Size Association came for her that she's body shaming them because she said to lose her weight. She and Eniola Badmus. That why would they lose their weight? Were they not happy of their body? If
they were, would they lose it?
I listened to the podcast where
male folks.
Mona Lisa talked about how she had great issues with the video Eniola released after she lost weight, and she said she's now beautiful. Does she mean she wasn't beautiful when she was plus size? So the body size, the Plus Size Association came for her. Now I'm seeing it as nothing but insecurity. I am slim, I know that. I am thin, so I don't know why you will call me thin and I will have issues with it. Or would I prefer you called me a broom or maybe a mopping stick? Or I don't know. Well, you don't have called me something to make me feel better. That is just who I am.
Now the thing is, most of us want to live in self-lies instead of living in the truth. That's the problem. Most people don't want to live in the truth. They want to live in self-lies. You know you have this problem or you are this thing. You don't want to work on it. You don't want to accept the truth. You want to live in deceit.
Thank you.
Most people don't want. They can't handle the truth no more. They don't want the truth. Just keep lying to me. That's the generation we're in now.
Just like Khalid and I talked about the gay lesbianism thing, and he talked about how it is not the truth, because we grew up to understand that I'm a male and I'm supposed to have a female counterpart, opposite sex. But then you're telling us that you feel attracted to your same sex. Like, how did it happen?
The Western world has gone so far that they are now even ignoring biology. In biology, a male will come with a female. In physics, unlike poles attract,
yes,
like poles repel. But you know, they're now telling the world to, you know, just ignore your identity. You can choose to be whatever you want to be. That means you just can choose to be probably a fox. I can choose to be cash, or choose to be this laptop. You understand? But I don't know.
How do we now stop this thing from entering into Nigeria? Quite all right, it is not in our own constitution, but like Khalid said the other time, we live on social media. Before you say Jack Robinson, okay, there was a shoe one of these popular artists wore, American popular singer wore, and that Enyolua wore it, and then we started saying different people wore
this big red shoe.
This big red shoe. I've seen it on someone.
Ayasta wore it.
Not Ayasta, out of the country.
I also wore it of recent.
So it started trending. Enyolua wore it. A popular TikTok influencer, Dara, also wore it, and then I started wearing it. And before we say Jack Robinson, we will see it on the streets of Lagos.
Everyone is wearing
Everybody
it.
will be wearing it. It was one. Is it Jay? I'm trying to remember his name. This popular guy that looks like a meme. Generally, is it Jay something? I'm trying to remember his name. So he wears big shoes. He wears really big shoes, and then to start trending. So how do we try to take away this thing from entering to Nigeria? Or you don't want to go to some places on the island, because some places on the island is starting to look like a Sodom and Gomorrah rebuild. And if island is like that, Port Harcourt, some places in Port Harcourt are like that. How do we now shy away from identifying as a goat, identify as a remote control?
The truth is, you can't hold it out for too long. Let's just keep hoping that this is the only area where our politicians still have sense.
Okay.
This is the only area I still give them kudos for always turning it down every single time the American society or government is trying to bring it down to Africa. African leaders are, apart from, I think South Africa is beginning to accept most things right now. Yeah, I think this is the only part where they're actually sensitive and smart. But the fact is, I want to talk about something you mentioned earlier. Because people feel a particular type of way, does it make it right?
No.
Now, there's an illustration I heard one professor give one time. He was like, okay, as a guy, normally there's this saying that men are, what's the word in nature? There's this thing they always say, men we like polygamous in nature.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you are bound to one woman, but because we are polygamous in nature, does it mean we should now go and sleep around? Why are you not sleeping around? Because you have morals. Because you know it's wrong. I shouldn't sleep around. For the Muslims, it's better you marry the wives. For other people, it's better you have the one wife and stay glued to her. Don't sleep around. Because you know it is wrong to sleep around. But your body wants to sleep around.
Your body wants to, but your brain is checking you.
But you will not say, because my body wants to sleep around, that's how I feel, so I should sleep around. That's what these gay and lesbian people are doing. Because you're a man and your body is attracted to your fellow man, does it make it right?
I think you've actually knew.
Does it make it right? I'm a man. I feel like sleeping with every fine woman I see. I'm attracted to every. I might have 5 women. If I see anyone that's more pretty, I feel like diving on her. But does it make it right? No. So I wouldn't do it. So if you're a woman and you feel like sleeping with your fellow woman, does it make it right?
No.
No. You shouldn't do it. That's the answer. Because you feel like that doesn't make it right. But the American society and the UK society is telling us now, because you feel like that, go for it. I mean, we saw in the news someone cut her hands off because she felt
feeling,
a young lady went to meet a doctor illegally. She made herself blind because she felt blind, and her family disowned her. Kudos to that family.
How far can we go? How far should it go?
Yes.
That's the question.
We actually go because
we've heard of gay association in Lagos, we heard of gay association in Abuja.
So many times they've been pushing it.
And they've been doing protests, small LGBTQ protests. How far can we keep sustaining them from coming to the
truth is, like they always say, the moment you accept one, you can't end it. It goes as far as unstoppable. Because right now, people can be foxes. I can wake up tomorrow morning, like I was saying earlier, and say, Obama, you started this thing. I am your first son. That's how I feel. Obama, you've not paid me child support for 20-something years of my life. So you're owing me child support. What does he have to say? You're my father.
You identify as a son.
You're the one that brought.
I feel like I'm your son.
I feel like I'm your first son. He doesn't have a son. He has 2 daughters. I am that your first son, Obama. You have to accept me. Because he started this whole thing. The moment the gay thing started, he started going trans, he started going Q, he started going what's their other names?
Binary,
non-binary, and all of that.
It is I want to correct something. It's 70. It's 100 and
There was a form I saw online not too long ago. I was trying to fill in a form, and in the gender option, I saw gender. I showed you. I saw female, male, no binary, and I'm like, so it has really gotten to this extent.
Open a new Facebook account. You realize that even on Facebook now, they have all these options, and sometimes they ask you if you don't want to mention
others.
Yes,
you know, this issue of pronoun also. You know, I sent out a mail, I think, to the US recently, and I got a response. Now, in the response, it was stated out that, okay, my pronouns are they, them. I wanted to respond to the mail, but I didn't know how to, because it was weird for me. It was weird for me talking to a person and, you know, using the word they. For such person, okay, if I want to describe Mira, Shola, instead of saying she, I would say they are there. They are sitting there.
It sounds confusing.
I've seen a movie where a guy said he doesn't want to be identified with any gender. He's queer, actually. He doesn't want to identify. And it was stressful. The father was stressing because I didn't have to mention your name every time. I can simply use he pronoun. But once each time they mention the he pronoun, it goes from a 0 to 100. So you're stressing me by saying you don't want to, I should be calling you they? Because if you're affecting my English, like the obedience. You are saying like, obedience is not the obedient we used to spell. You are changing the spelling of obedient. You are stressing my brain, and in the way you're affecting my vocabulary.
It happens a lot, and they don't take note of these things, but I remain with the fact that how far can we go with it? I mean, there should be a balance at every time in what we do in society. That's the reason why rules and everything came about. Rules, morals, everything, they are there. Standards, they are there for a reason. A society without those things is always pushed out for doom. Because that's what's happening with the American society, the UK society. When you can tell, and it's as bad as now. I don't have an issue with adults deciding this is what I want. Okay, you're an adult. You can make your decision. Why are you now taking it to nursery and primary school to impose
on them?
So there was one that trended of recent. These bi parents, they are both, I think they were both female. They changed to me or something. They had a son, and according to them, that they started seeing it at the age of 2. Like, what can you see in a child at the age of 2 that you feel the child is female, but she wants to be a man, or she's man, she wants to be a woman, and you started giving her
testosterone
to change her gender at the age of 2? Please, what is that? That's outright child abuse. That's outright child abuse. Because you can. What do you see in a 2-year-old child?
Or maybe she's giving, like they say, she's giving man vibes. She's giving male vibes.
At 2 years old.
That's too young, if you ask me. That's really too young.
Okay. I don't know. I'm the guest here, but what do you have to say about the fact that someone as a man would trans and now going into a female sport?
Yes, that one is another thing. We've seen.
That's another serious thing that's getting people mad. Male that were in the male sports, particularly weightlifting. They've done the one that for years, then the chance and
perhaps 150, 200 kg before would identify as a female and go to the female category to be lifting maybe 80 or 70 and would be receiving all the medals there.
And don't forget the males lifting are always heavier than the female.
Of course.
So when a man switches, what do you expect?
A male swimmer who now identifies as a female swimmer.
He will dominate.
You swim faster, you dominate.
And nobody's questioning anybody.
There are lots of questions.
When you question him, you're trying to.
You're transphobic.
Transphobic.
Yeah. You're infringing on his human rights. This is quite appalling.
It's as far as even right now in the American society, there's this battle of restrooms. Some people are like, the trans should have their own restrooms. Some say no, since they are trans, they shouldn't be discriminated.
Oh, like the transgender, the serial rapist that was arrested and taken to a female cell.
Yes.
Come on,
bro.
He would just give him a free go and rape everybody in the prison. Obviously, that's it.
Well, we have to just wrap up on the interview. I think we should just go with our parting word.
Yeah.
For me, I will start with, you should go first, Clinton.
Okay, I will just say that, please, this shouldn't come into the Nigerian society. Let's try. Because I don't see how far it can go. It doesn't have a limit, it doesn't have an end. Rather. I think at the point people will start saying I'm an alien and things worse. So please, let's remain with the order and the morals we still have in the African society. Let's not try to. Most of us always want to be like the whites. These people want to be like us. I said this thing on my program the other day. We were criticizing Asake for yoga. And I'm like, white folks are enjoying that song because of the African tradition in it, and we are calling it barbaric. Let us avoid these things and stay with what we have and get what we have and build what we have to be what we want. I can see people already trying to buy it and like, it's not our thing. Trans, no chance. Let us remain male, female. Whether you like a guy, you like a woman, it is your problem. I'm not interested in that, but don't bring it to my kid. Keep it to yourself.
I'm not trying to call out anybody now, but there's a particular person on TikTok. I think her handle is the confused gender. I don't know if she's a female or he's a male. She dresses or he dresses in both ways, just like Bobrisky. We understand Bobrisky is now renowned.
I mean, that's what James is doing.
That's what James Brown is doing. But please, the world now is on social media. My 3-year-old child is on social media. My 1-month-old child will grow up to have a social media account. Whatever they are seeing on social media now, in a way, they want to start imitating it. And I don't want your whatever decision to influence people. Not my own child, but people around. And in a way, the world will start, the government does not need to accept it. They will start doing it low-key. Before we could say Jack Robinson, it's all over. We'll start seeing them on the roads, on the streets of Lagos and other woke cities. So please, whatever you want to do, keep it to yourself. There are some things you don't want to see on social media. There are some things I don't appreciate. I, as a person, don't appreciate seeing on social media.
Give these young people a chance.
Give them a chance. Let them decide what they want to be. You have to decide they have to be a female or a male. Don't tell me you feel like a male today and you want to start using testosterone. No, please. You are born to a world of male and female. Stick to that. This is Africa. We don't want all of that. Go to UK if you want to feel like that.
Banking on what Clinton and Shola said, he said we should, stick to our culture, try to stick to the culture, and you also said the same thing. For me, I would digress a little bit. I think we should go back to our religion. If you look at both religions, Islamic religion, Christianity, even the traditional religion we have in Africa, and every other religion in the world, these religions only identify 2 genders, the male and the female gender. And in a way, we all understand that, okay, religion is a part of God. God brought this religion. Therefore, God knows best by creating just 2 genders. So we should just go back to our religion, go back to your holy book, read what is there. If you read your holy book, if you find maybe transgender there, it is good for you. But then I am very, very sure that you not read any holy book in the world
and find
non-binary there. You would maybe find male and female. And for everybody that we read about in our
Neither did
books,
you find 2 males getting married in the Bible,
yes.
2 females making out in the Bible.
So we should just go back to our religion and practice what we actually read.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
We have to go on a short break right now to return with the concluding part of the program. Stay with us.